Hey everybody, it's your friend Kevin, along with my friend Freddie the Teddy, coming to you from Charlotte, North Carolina on this very special December 31st, 2022. This is your card of the day. Okay, my friends, so here we go. We're using Fairy Tarot cards by Bradley Valentine and illustrations by Howard David Johnson. So here we go. Great Father in the sky, Mother in the earth, angels, ancestors, pixies, gnomes, and enchanted ones of the light. Thank you for showing me or bringing to me the message of today, this special day, 31st of December 2022. Here goes our one flip. It is a flip. Okay, so the King of Summer now wants to be seen. Let's keep shuffling. Is that the only one? Well, two more popped out. I'm going to call them jumpers. Let's go with that. Let's see what happens. Now, I will explain that sometimes the jumper cards pop out as an act of sloppy shuffling. And that happens. These cards are a little larger than a regular set of playing cards, and it does take a while to kind of learn the skill of doing it. And I don't mind admitting that sometimes it's a bit of a mess. Right, so the King of Summer, I'm looking at this card as a way to be the subject, the influence of today's energy. So the overall energy from the King of Summer is to be devoted, to be honourable, to be warm-hearted. And he's come to say that a romantic partner you can trust is about you today, or coming into you, or around you. It also signifies that excellent thoughts, advice comes from the heart of the matter, the passion of the matter. And the King of Summer is here to remind us, really, to be truthful, to be honest, to be honourable of that which we choose. Now, in his left hand, he's sort of holding this staff with the somewhat twisted rod, if you will. Let's have a little closer look to this. And I'll get to the other two cards without waffling on. It looks like there's some kind of horse behind him, but the way ahead is lit and solid and secure. So I think you can safely say today, the last day of the year for 2022, the energy will be of somewhat of a somber nature, devoted to what's going to happen. Now let's see what the other two cards are, and I'm just going to twist them over. We'll see, we've got the Ace of Winter. Now, these are new thoughts. The Ace is like the child of new ideas, followed by the Prince of Winter. Now, this is very, very interesting because once again, we see an intellectual focused, a determined mind, and the ability to be impulsive and playful at the same time. Now, this is not the first time Prince of Winter have popped up. But what I will tell you about these cards, these decks, and these readings, that every day doesn't just flop out to be completely different. We go through these phases, the phases of the moon, the phases of the sun, the phases of the season. And if we are constantly looking for something different, or looking for something new, more hope, more this, more that, looking for the glitter in every situation, then we have to create it. We've got to, even if the situation is almost repetitive, which it is, and it will be, simply because life is that way. Life has this way of allowing us the expansive growth, the creative growth, the idea of growth, the people that come into our lives. However, we are still somewhat the same, rooted to our core, with the same soul that we've been lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. We're just choosing different experiences. Well, that's what growth is. And I think that these three, King of Summer, Ace of Winter, and the Prince of Winter, is really talking about using this beautiful Ace of Winter fairy, dressed in her almost magenta, slightly violet cloak, with this, say, what they call those, I almost want to say it's called a saber tiger. It's a white tiger. I can't think of the name of it now. Siberian tiger. There you go. Thank you, Spirit. On this journey, and there's some fear that she's popping up against. The thought that, oof, I hope things work out. I hope that my dreams are going to start to come true. So it's important to communicate clearly and accurately what these ideas, what these amazing ideas are. You've got to get them out there, because, the fear, the ego, wants to shove them in a box. Now, I could read all three of these cards like past, present, and future. I could read them like, this is what we know, that we're honorable people, we're devoted, we're mature, we're warm-hearted. That's what we've come from. This is what we've entered into. And the present situation right now, being the Ace of Winter, listen, 1 year is coming to an end quickly. A new year hasn't quite started yet. And we've got this fear of things becoming the same, things getting worse, listening to news reports about how this is going to happen and that's going to happen. And some of that fear is seeping into some of the astrological predictions that are coming up. I've watched a lot of that lately that's popped up on the YouTube channels, going on and on and on about how March is going to be a volatile month, and this is going to be this, and that's going to be that, and Mercury retrograde, tra-la-la-la-la-la. You know what, people? Shift, growth, expansion, new beginnings come with a sense of chaos. They come with a sense of a mess. They come with a sense of, oh, good gracious me, what's next? Listen, happy, happy, joy, joy. Be glad that it's all rippled up. Be glad that it's all over the place, because you get to use the Prince of Winter to ride the wave of wonder, intellectual determination, focused. You can even be a little impulsive if you want to be, because you have to know you're going to be all right. You've got this Prince of Winter on your back saying, you know what, try any idea. Just get into an idea. Don't sit back and be worried about your fears. Get into your idea. So this would be what would happen, what is going to happen. Seek out an intelligent solution to whatever problem you feel like you may have or you might come up against. The need to act quickly and decisively for unexpected changes. I love these three cards together. I like the fact that the King of Summer is saying that we're already noble. We've already got that tool set down. We've already come from a place of truth and integrity, love, warm-heartedness, and peace. We're entering into a whole new year. We're entering into somewhat of a new season. We're dealing with issues, situations, stories, everything that we may not have faced before. And if we follow our determination, if we come from that place of being fearless and being strong and being confident, because let's face it, we do well when we're confident. Just put that in your noggin before you even venture out. Because none of us really know what's going to happen. And if we really did know what was going to happen, if we got the storybook of our life at the very beginning of when we started, well, this would be boring as goodness only knows what. It's fun to explore new things and go with new opportunities. I don't know if I can read all three of these descriptions from the guidebook. I am going to read the Ace of Winter, because this is telling me that this is where we are right now at this point. This is what is right around the corner, and this is what we know. This is what we know that influences this. So let's read the Ace of Winter and go with that for now. I love that we had 3 cards that pop out. I mean, that's just telling me that it's a special day here in the neighborhood, if you will. Let's see, where is it? Well, the Suit of Winter really is about what we think. You know, it's the coldest time of the year, so we tend to hibernate. We can say that we're getting into the briskness of the season with these cool energies, but in that energy, we get to have pure thought. So we're supposed to slow down and get tucked into our cozy homes. You know, if the winter ends up being severe, we might want to start to feel isolated or even allow thoughts to turn fearful. That's what that card's about. So the Ace of Winter, don't be deterred by your challenges along the way. You're on the right path and your plans are protected and safe. You've got that tiger right there. Keep forgetting the name of that tiger. Anyway, any difficulties you experience are merely intended to make you a whole lot stronger. They're not really blocks. Trust that the new ideas you've got coming, you're going to have time to be inspired by them, and they are most definitely worthy of your time and energy. You're crystal clear on what you need to do, even if you're doubting yourself. Have confidence in your own sights, your own insights, your own intuition. Be really clear with your communication with spirit and concise in order to avoid any confusion from anybody. Be very careful not to seem cold or hoity. Speak your truth, in other words. This young fairy has the magic in her hands, but also the power of pure crystalline thought. This to me is being influenced by that gorgeous colour. It almost seems to be not quite magenta, but sort of like a pinkish violet. I love it. Gosh, I'd like to have clothes that colour. Her companion represents a full potential strength and the courage that she will grow into. We're all here to grow into our courage. We're all here to grow into our confidence. We are all here to grow into something bigger than what we started off with. That, I believe, is the essence of today's reading and today's cards. This is what's going to happen if we stay the course. Let's go into the Prince of Winter, which I think is the Ace of Winter all grown up. You know, the Prince of Winter moves with a flash of light. When the Prince of Winter shows up, you know you're in for some quick action. His mind moves as fast as his sled, and he instantly has access to every situation, allowing him to get right to work. So when he's on a mission, you may as well stand back and let him take charge, because he's going to, whether you want him to or not. This is about you taking action, standing in, using your confidence, having slayed your fears. The Prince of Winter is idealistic, decisive, focused, and determined. He can be a bit impulsive and somewhat undiplomatic. So if the Prince of Winter enters your arena, see if you can get him to pause and do a bit of reflection, just to make sure that everything you're doing is really sound. This fairy moves swiftly through the snow. He loves the thrill of the ride, but he's really watching where he's going. Oh my goodness gracious me. You know, I like reading the description. It gives me a bit more of a layer, like I've said before. This is really about overcoming fears. And, I got goosebumps down this side, which is my right side. So I know my spirits are on there. I'm listening. I'm sorry. So if you're watching this and you're into this, there's a connection that you have to the spirit realm, your own spirit guides, and they're knocking the door. Actually, my angel guides, spirit guides are saying not only are they knocking the door, they're literally doing that jangling with the gates. They're sort of almost, without chucking a bucket of cold water at you, saying, wake up, people. Now that sounds a bit harsh, but this is what I know for sure. Whenever I've been, how can I call it, sassy, and I can be, decisive, when I stop sugarcoating what I've got to say and get right to the point, it is a bit sharp. It can sometimes be blunt. However, the general wrapping around it is kindness, warm-heartedness, comes with the devotion of this King of Summer. It's knowing that we've got the intellect, we've got the prowess, we've got the regality of being able to platform any decision. The challenge comes when we have to be in the present moment. So my message for you, not just for today, but really to walk into 2023 with, is we are all going to be faced with having to make quick, fast, instant decisions. I don't know how you felt about where 2022 went, but it went whoosh, quick, fast. And it used to be what older people said. Now everyone's saying it. Where did the day go? Well, hang on. If you blink, you're going to be fast forwarding into March and April and May. Really quickly, people in the month of January, once they put all their glittery trees and baubles away, they're starting to think about graduation. They're starting to think about summer holidays. They're starting to think about what they're going to do in the summer. You know, they've already taken care of spring, put those bulbs in last autumn. Things like this. We are accustomed in our culture to be jumping ahead, way jumping, even if we don't realize what we're doing. In those predictable seasons, there's little room for quick, fast decisions. But what if you allowed the predictable traditions to just kind of be where they are, and understood that you don't have to be afraid that whatever gets pushed in our path is what we're meant to deal with, what we're meant to handle, what we're meant to have happen. So there are going to be awkward moments. You'll make a decision on Monday that by Wednesday isn't going to work. This is what we're talking about. It doesn't make your decision wrong. It means it's got to be flipped, twisted, and perhaps even aborted, even let go of, even this isn't going to work. We have to regroup this. And this is where the Prince of Winter shows up. It's alarming when folks say, well, hang on a minute, you said this yesterday. I did, but then this is what's happened. The other part of this I want to say, and I'm getting a message from it, is if you're not part of some kind of community, whether it's a spiritual community, a physical community, that could even be people who want to exercise together, walk together, a book club, whatever. Create a community. Create a community of support. Create a community of caring. Create a community of loving, kind folks who get each other. There's many folks who are somewhat isolated because their circle of influence has been altered by the events of the last 3 years, but we're past it. We've moved beyond it, and things are different. And that means you're different, and that means your experiences are different. And now I'm being told, thank you, that I'm waffling on. So I'm going to let this go. I love you. I think I'm up to like 190 subscriptions, somewhere in there. I don't know why I'm obsessed by that. Maybe because I want to get these messages out there. But anyway, have a great New Year's Eve. Be safe. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.